Everybody. Thank you, Yesenia. Let's try that one more time. Good afternoon, everybody. Don't fall asleep on us. You grab lunch and sometimes it makes you a little tired. Don't want to do that on this session here. So how many of you are enjoying this event so far? Isn't there a Starbucks around here? So that way you guys can grab some coffee and get some energy with that. Let's try that one more time. How many of you guys honestly are enjoying this event being put on by the Citrus Valley Association of Realtors? Citrus Valley Association of Realtors is a leading association in my mind simply because they get out of their way to make sure that they put on events for their members like this here today. And there's so much valuable information for all attendees. But I think at the end of the day, what I want to speak to you about, and also the points that Matt wants to emphasize, is the element of change. We had here at Direct today, had consumers up here speaking directly to you, telling you about the changes in their business, what they're expecting, what agents are doing or not doing, and how basically you can make those adjustments to earn their business. So I'll give you a quick little 20-second, 30-second intro. Social NetworX is a company that comes on out. We teach real estate agents how to use technology in their business. Many of you we've known for years. And over the years, we as a company have evolved. We've made adjustments in our own business model. And we originally started off by providing technology trainings. And now our business has become full circle. We're out there offering products and services for real estate agents to say, look, you want to make changes? We're going to make it easy. You have a website. You want to make sure that people find your website and they like you and you can inspire them to pick up the phone and give you a call. We could help you with that. You have a message, you work really hard, you want to make sure that people understand and know that you have value that you can bring them. We help you spread your message much more aggressively. This is my partner, Matt Ahlmann. Many of you know him. And Matt, why don't you just go ahead and give him an introduction to yourself.
Hi. How you guys doing today? You guys good? Good. You know what? I was really excited to see that consumer panel personally. I was telling John about it ever since we made the original video for Revive 2014. And what excited me about it is that you got the real deal information as to what they do like, what they don't like. There's a lot of stuff they didn't like, right? A lot of stuff. And unfortunately, sometimes we gather that information and we still ignore it. Would you guys agree? Sometimes we do that. So I think one of the biggest messages today that I've been able to take away is from these consumers, they're leading us directly to the pot of gold. And what I mean by that is, how do you position yourself? And there's a lot of questions to ask yourself when it comes to this. How am I branding myself? Am I showing up online? Am I not online? There's a million different questions. But how are you positioning yourself right now to make sure you're in front of your target demographic? What you have is the internet. It's a very close second, would you say? It's a very, very close second when it comes to the value of a real estate professional in the consumer's eyes.
According to the state of Illinois, which I spoke there last year, it was 54% real estate agents were most valuable, 44% the internet was the most valuable resource for a consumer. And I told the audience there, I said, the fact that you have the consumers who value the internet so much, that just tells you it's one of those things that you need to embrace that into your business model. And I had many conversations even this morning while everybody was out there trying to get your card stamped to win an iPad. And I told them we're on strike, we're not stamping anybody's. It's because we're not on the list, that's why. Thanks, Saeed. Yeah. So with that said, my point is that you have technology here, you have realtors here, and the real estate agents that learn how to leverage that technology, learn how to leverage the internet, all you're going to be able to do is to enhance your own value. Get your phone ringing and allow people to know or learn more about you.
Yeah, so what it comes down to for us is we're here to tell you we're going to cut off all the fat. Is that cool? We got to cut out all the different social sites that you think you need to be a part of, you heard it, and you really don't need to actually have it. And what we need to focus on are 4 major components as of right now. We're usually ahead of the curve, and we are very proud in telling you that because we deliver the most up-to-date information to you, because not only do we speak to top agents, new agents, people who have been through the ups and downs in this industry, and we're very blessed to talk to them throughout the country, but on top of that, we talk to consumers. We talk to our friends, because you know, if you look at us, we're that young, crazy home buyer that you guys hate dealing with. I don't know if you guys know that. And what's kind of going to happen is right now you have the wealth of this industry, the wealth of real estate and purchasing, and that power is the baby boomers right now, right? What do you think is going to happen in the next few years to come? That's going to change, and it's going to be the crazy young home buyers, which will also be your crazy new sellers, and then they're going to have crazy young kids that are going to be your new buyers. So you just have to position yourself. So when I say cut out the fat, let's do this. If you're taking notes mentally or on paper, I'm going to give you 4 simple points, hopefully some simple.
Or their iPad.
What was it?
On their iPad or on their phone as well.
No, I was talking to the right people. Right, pen and paper you guys have? Right? iPads, okay, fair enough. You need a social network. You need to get your message out with video. You need to blog to prepare content for education. And last but not least, one of the rock stars that we know in our industry with Yelp is Jacob Swodik, which I know we're going to be hearing from later today. So you better stick around for that. He's absolutely amazing when it comes to it. So some tips, social networking, okay? Facebook is number 1. Some of you hate it, that's okay, get over it, because this is a people business and you have to connect with more people. That's number 1. And I'm not going to tell you, hey, post 1 time a day, and I'm not going to give you a formula. What I'm going to tell you is this: stick to 3 major topics that you can share or you're able to share openly without being afraid of doing so, and stick to them. Here's mine. I share about technology in events like this. I love letting people know that we do technology. So for you, what would it be? Some of you are in real estate, right? Some of you don't know why the heck you're here or whatever. Okay. So if you're doing real estate, obviously you are, you need to not be the secret agent. Let people know that you're out there doing business, but don't spam them.
How many of you posted that you're here today at today's event? Awesome. And if you include a photo when you're posting, you increase the opportunity for engagement that much more as well.
Tremendously. So that's number 1. The other thing that I do is I really pimp out my kid. I share a lot of photos about my child. For those of you who know me, or on Facebook at least, you see I share a ton of stuff about my daughter and my family. Absolutely love them. What does that convey or portray to the virtual world? I'm a family man. I love my child, right? If I post that I'm running or that I eat greens for lunch, what am I? Nutrition specialist. Holy smokes, that guy knows his stuff. So remember, perception is reality, but at the same time, you got to find your 2 things that you're able to share with, and all it is are icebreakers to connect you with more people. That's it. And if you're not going to follow that, I'll tell you this: at least have Facebook's instant messenger. I was just in an office out in Beaumont a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I was talking to a real estate agent that we talk often, and she said she forgot to log into her instant messenger on Facebook, and she missed a buyer lead. That hurts. Yeah. And I know there's been other people in this industry that have missed out on so many opportunities, but it's just about being connected. The goal would be to take that conversation and get what? Face to face. Because we don't want to let technology ruin that human interaction, but it is a great way to connect. So
and I just want to hit on that point. When you had the panel up here earlier today, if you were listening to them, they all have their own preferred method of communication, right? And so you're going to have those consumers that want to be able to text you back and forth, or you're going to want to have the consumers that simply maybe want to connect with you by way of email. And ultimately, like Matt said, you want to be able to get that face-to-face, but in many cases, you can build and establish a relationship with a client just right over the technical tools. You could have 10 people up here who say, no, I don't want to use technology. It doesn't mean that that's the market. It happens to mean that that's the 10 people standing in front of you. And at the same time, you could be operating in the high desert, operating in Rancho Cucamonga, or be out in Orange County, and you also got to look at your demographics as well. Don't only look at the local consumer, but also look at the market that you're targeting. So if you're targeting maybe a luxury or a higher end market, you're going to have a different clientele that you're dealing with. And I think a lot of the times that's the element that's missed. It's sometimes preconceived notions of what we believe the client wants to hear from us, or it's the ways that we think that they really want to deal with us, and all we really have to do is to simply ask. And if you ask and acknowledge, it makes a really big difference. And I know that pretty much that was my takeaway from the panel here today, was just on that whole method of communication. I'm going to hit on one more point that Matt's talking about, being that he's speaking about sharing information about real estate. I did a training yesterday at the Santa Monica Apple store. If any of you are my Facebook friends, you probably noticed that. And I'll tell you, the Apple people threw me a little bit for a loop because they said this is a real estate technology training. And I showed up, and there was no real estate agents in there. It was all business people. I had a guy that just represented the transaction on the sale of Dos Lagos for over $30 million. I have 2 architects in the business. I got a woman who buys and sells businesses as a living. And in just asking about them, it was a higher end market, right? And so I said right away, as soon as they said, let's go, And I said, okay, how many of you are in real estate? Nobody raised their hand. And I said, isn't this a real estate class? Well, the store promoted it as something different, but they told me it was a real estate class. But that's okay, because we always talk about the fundamentals, principles of social marketing could be universally applied to any business. It doesn't matter what it is. So even if you're a real estate agent and maybe you have a business on the side, you could still use these same practices. Saeed, for your insurance business, you can go on out there, utilize social marketing in order to connect with more real estate agents. But what it comes down to is that you have to become an authority, right? You have to become that professional for your business. And each of you should become the authority for real estate in your local community. Because if you become that authority, then what happens is that you establish way more value. And that's exactly what these people were talking about today. They don't necessarily want to give you their email address and their name in order to access information on your website, because they don't have to do that on Zillow or Trulia. But at the same time, you asked, hey, are you clicking on the leads or the ads from Zillow? And what was the answer from the consumers?
It was no.
No, right? So the point is that if you utilize social marketing the correct way, it's that you want to make sure you're personable, but at the same time that you're becoming the authority for your market. It's going to make a tremendous difference. And I think that that's a big point that you're hitting on right now.
Thank you. Absolutely. And another thing about the consumers that you heard from today, which was fabulous, is that it's an interesting concept they have, right? They don't want you to bother them, but they want you to be available at all times.
Hey, don't laugh, because that's you too. Because if I ask affiliates, how many of you, when affiliates call on you, you'll say, don't call me, right? Because when we call you, if I call you to sell you a website and you tell me, don't bug me, don't call me, I say, aren't you in the sales business? Because aren't you also calling other people as well? So I think that's one of those things that we need to be aware of, right?
That's the thing, John, because when I call them, see, they don't tell me that. Right? Some of you? And so
I put you on my blacklist if you ever tell me that. Just heads up.
As you continue on with this whole dynamic of what's going on online and connecting with these consumers, you have to ask some key questions before you even start your social networking. I don't like calling it marketing. Your social networking and the video stuff and your blogging. And the three things that you have to think about when you're doing this is, am I entertaining?